Hey, Brian.
Hey, Neal, Schon, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. We just got a couple of inches of snow here in April in Portland, Maine, but it seems to have stopped, so hopefully there won't be any here by the time you guys get here in June.
Well, you know what? You never know with this weather.
It's crazy.
All over the place here in San Francisco, too. One day it's like in the 40s in the morning, then it ends up being 90, in the afternoon. It's crazy. And then one day it's pouring rain. It's kind of been, the weather's been all over the place, everywhere.
But there's no such thing as climate change, right, Neal?
That's it.
Hey, you're in Vegas right now, right?
No, actually, I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
So I thought that Santana was playing in Vegas this week.
Well, he's playing. I'm not doing all the shows. We did the first of the 5 shows that we booked for this year. We did 3 of them, and they were back east. One was at Madison Square Garden, and the other 2 were back east as well.
Is there a plan to do some more shows with Santana?
We have 2 more scheduled for this year, but I'm hoping that next year we can do more, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I'd like to see next year, so please make this happen. I would like to see a Journey Santana tour.
That's what I've been talking about. I'm being met with a lot of obstacles. I just can put it like that.
Right.
And I'm totally down with it, and I want to do it. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to have to figure out a way to do it anyway. And next year in a time slot. And so, I've told management that, and hopefully, I know the dates are doing really well. We sold out AT&T Park with Miller and the Doobies, in one day.
Wow.
And, it's great. Great business.
Hey, well, one more thing about the Santana 4. Congratulations. You guys number 5 this week on Billboard.
Yeah, and I just got all the chart action yesterday, and we're like in the 1, 2, across the world. It's not just the States. The coolest thing about the Santana band is it's world music. And, I experienced that once before when I was a kid, and I definitely want to experience it again. And we've got a hot record right now.
And listening to the album, it really picks up exactly where it left off with Santana 3. So
it was very effortless, too, I have to tell you. I mean, we did not prepare at all. I wrote a few songs. Greg wrote a few songs, and we came in, and we really didn't practice. We just started recording, and we made up a whole lot of stuff right on the spot.
Now, Carlos recently said that he thinks that Steve Perry and Journey should do something together. I've seen interviews where you're down, but Steve's not down, right?
I really don't know where Steve is at, because nobody does, because he doesn't know anyone to talk to him directly. And so I really don't know where he's at. I think he's more into doing his solo thing, and I hear it's coming out this year. And, we wish him the best luck. We're doing just fine.
Wouldn't that be great, though, just once to do a tour like that with him? And I would say even invite Greg Rowley along.
Unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. And, it's been a lot of time that's gone by. I think that we all helped each other out tremendously, to make, the brand what it is, the Journey name and the songwriting that we all put into it. But, if he's not into it, he's not into it. It's okay.
Right.
No problem. I mean, we're probably, our manager tells us that we've never done business this good ever. And so, a lot of people have just accepted us for what we are. I mean, I started the thing back up close to 2 decades ago. And, it was a hard, grueling, a lot of work and rebuilding everything. And but we're there,
Well, you're the man. You're the guy that's been there through it all. The one guy, right?
You're right. I am the only and the one only guy that's been there from the beginning. Never missed a day of Journey. Not for even I had double pneumonia last year, and I didn't miss a show. And so I have a feeling that's the way it's always going to be. I started it, and I don't think it's over until I say it's over.
And Steve Smith, another old friend, is back in the band now these days, right?
Yeah, Smith is back, and it's great to play with him again. We're going to have a lot of fun this summer. I know things are just getting started with him, as we didn't really rehearse that much. We rehearsed like 3 days. I like to rehearse more, but other guys don't. So, usually it just comes together as we're playing out there live and taking sound checks.
Now, how does Arnell like life on the road these days? I remember in the past it was difficult for him.
Oh, he's like a total trooper now. He's been acclimated to the U.S. and he knows what's going on, and he's got it down now. In the beginning, I think it was like a whole new thing for him, never being out of the Philippines.
Put yourself in his shoes. I'm sure you have. My gosh.
No, he's great. Arnold's great. He's very solid and having a good time.
And what an amazing singer. And we love the story of how you found Arnell.
It's funny, I've pretty much handpicked all the guys that are in the band, and from the get-go, with the exception of Steve Perry that Herbie Herbert picked many years ago. And that was it. And it's been like that ever since.
Maybe AC/DC ought to find their next singer on YouTube.
Well, they're going out with Axl, right?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll comment after I hear how it goes.
Yeah. I've seen some video of it, and he's singing some Bon Scott stuff, and it sounds pretty good, but I'm wondering how he's going to sound on the Brian Johnson stuff.
It's difficult. Some guys are, when certain bands have had numerous lead singers, it's tough to find a guy that can do all. Bon Scott, Journey, we did a lot of shows with AC/DC back in that era, and that band was just like unstoppable, and I really loved the whole energy that they had with Bon Scott, but they've made some great records after that too, and it's just a shame, that this has happened to him, and that, that he can't tour anymore. He just, I'm sure he feels terrible too. That's why everybody should, take notice. You got to wear some kind of ear protection.
All right, quick 5 questions for Neal Schon here. What was the last album you listened to start to finish?
The Santana 4 record.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. What was the last live show you were in the audience for? Live show.
Yeah. Wow. It's been a while. I think Jeff Beck.
Wow. I remember seeing him here in Portland, Maine at the State Theater, and it was a truly spiritual experience, much like the feeling you get when you go see Carlos Santana.
Yeah, everybody's got, certain guys have a certain thing they do, and they get inside of you, and they take you with them, on a journey. And it's like Jeff Beck has definitely been one of those, guys, and, he's a pioneer, much like Jimi Hendrix was of the guitar, of making the guitar, make different noises and sounds beyond playing, with the great ability that they both had.
Question number 3. What's the book that you're reading?
I wasn't reading a book. I was reading some guitar magazine. That's the latest thing I was reading.
All right, as long as you're reading. Want to make sure you're reading.
With Richie Blackmore on the cover. I was reading his interview.
What was the last movie you saw?
Wow, it's been a while since I saw a movie. I've been so busy. I haven't had any time to watch TV or a movie.
You got to treat yourself.
I'm too busy, man. I'm getting ready with all these 3 bands, God, I can't remember the last movie I saw.
I suggest you see The Revenant. Watch The Revenant. Edge of my seat this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to see that. It just, it got away before, I could get in and check it out. It looks killer, though.
Question number 5. Where were you when you heard the news that Prince had died?
I was in my house, and the news kind of came out, and everybody was just shocked, kind of in shock. What a loss, what a great loss, and not only him, but everybody else that passed this year. It was just very odd, the beginning of 16, everything started, people started passing.
Yeah.
All these great iconic musicians, and it just makes you think, you got to be very grateful for every day that you have and that you're healthy and, take advantage of all the time that we have here on Earth and live as clean as you can.
I love hearing that gratitude in your voice, man.
Definitely. I consider myself one of the survivors, as I was as crazy as anybody could be. For the last 9 years, I've been completely sober. And so it's been really good for me all the way around, decision making, playing wise, friendships, relationships, everything,
June 22nd, Darling's Waterfront Pavilion in Bangor with the Doobie Brothers and Dave Mason. Journey is coming back to Maine, man. We're psyched.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting there. I'm playing. Should be interesting and a lot of fun. And, I'm a big Dave Mason fan as well as Doobies, too. A lot of people don't know, but, one of the greatest songs of all time, All Along the Watchtower, that Bob Dylan wrote, and Jimi Hendrix probably did the most amazing version ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not probably, he did.
Yeah,
Dave Mason played 12-string guitar on that.
That is quite a historical fact right there, man. Huge.
So who knows? Maybe one night he'll decide to play with me, and I can probably do, pretty good justice to it.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Let's get that planned for the set list in Bangor this summer. Neal, Schon, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
You're welcome, man.